Hello, I'm Eduardo da Mota, one of the designers of the card game Soberano, soon to be published by Conclave Editora. Welcome to this tutorial. Hopefully by the end, you should have a strong grasp of the game. So let's start. The Soberano is dead, and the title is now vacant for the taking. All noble families are eager to oblige, but only the resourceful Aquila or the ancient Leone have the power and influence needed to stake out their claim, but they agree to one thing only: they rather start a war than bow to one another. You have prepared your family for this, and now it's time to make a move. Soberano is a fast-paced game of cards that emulates a court power struggle during the Renaissance. The players will race each other for the prestige points needed to claim the title and win the game. Soberano uses a deck building mechanic. As the game progresses, the players will recruit allies, temporary ally cards, to his influence network, his deck. But these allies are not loyal and can be exposed or spent to perform powerful feats during the game. Each player starts the game with his own influence network, a deck composed of loyal ally cards, numbered from 1 to 4. Espião, spy, diplomata, diplomat, mensageiro, messenger, lorde, lord, one of each major family, Aquila and Leone. They also choose a family card to represent their family during the game. State cards and family cards should always be visible on the table. Family cards will grant players with 1 point of wildcard influence at game start. Families can be upgraded with connection cards later. Now, shuffle all temporary ally cards into one single deck and draw the first 3, flip them open, forming a row at the middle of the table. The cards must be of different families for the setup, different colors. Leave the deck beside them. Shuffle the connection card deck and draw the first 3 cards, placing each one carefully beneath a temporary ally card. Leave the deck beside them. Place state cards in descending order, alternating family seal one above the other in 2 different columns, one for Aquila and one for Leone, at the reach of all players. It should look like this. The most valuable ones should be partially covered by the least valuable ones. We are ready to begin. The older player goes first. All ally cards, loyal or temporary, provide players with influence or intrigue power and a unique favor. Most of them can also provide protection against other players' intrigues. Allies are always aligned to a major family, limiting its scope of action most of the time. Family and state cards provide only influence power. These powers can be activated once per turn. States also provide prestige points necessary to win the game. Family and states do not provide intrigue power. Connection cards are used to upgrade family cards, providing specific traits explained later. Family cards can have only two active connections at a time, a title to the left and a tie to the right. When a family makes two connections, it's worth a prestige point. All player turns will follow the exact same order. Before a player can perform any action, he must check his table for protectors. If he's any, he must relieve them to his own discard pile. Then he'll perform his actions in any order he chooses. When he cannot or wishes not to do any more actions, he must perform a cleanup and call the reinforcements for the next turn. Every action in the game can be performed in any order the player wishes. Each has its own rules and restrictions. Recruit allies in court. When a player chooses this action, he must spend influence power, the banner icons found in all ally, family and state cards. Recruiting requires precision, meaning a player has to match the exact same amount spent in influence as the desired temporary ally with his own cards and the same family color, without exceeding the value. All ally cards used to perform this action, and the new recruited ally goes to the player's discard pile now. One last rule: no ally will recruit another of the same value. Make connections. When a player chooses this action, he will follow the same rules as if he was recruiting a temporary ally, but instead of taking the ally card, he takes the connection beneath it. Connections upgrade a player's family and will be explained later. Make an intrigue. A player can perform one and only one intrigue action in his turn. To do so, he will use Intrigue Power, the crossed daggers icon found exclusively in all ally cards. Intrigue is a demonstration of power and the main way to win the game. When making an intrigue, a player will add his intrigue power to equal or exceed the defense of the desired state card. The defense of a state card is the value of the shield icon present on the card, plus the protector in front of it, if any. Remember that all intrigue power used to perform this action must match exactly the same color inside the shield of the desired state card. Any influence power provided by the state card is immediately available for the player to use. All temporary allies used to add value to the intrigue are considered exposed and must be discarded back to the court. Ask a favor. A player can ask one and only one favor in his turn. When he chooses to do so, he is forfeiting all influence, intrigue, defense, or family ties the ally has. In fact, the player only uses the bottom section of the card. As an indication, the player should play the ally 90 degrees in front of him. When asking a favor of a temporary ally, he will be exposed and must be discarded back to the court. All favors will be explained in detail later. Place protectors. Intrigues can target players' state cards. To increase the defense value of a state card, players can place an ally as a protector, matching the shield color of a state card or cards. Meaning, one protector with a blue shield will add to the defense value of all state cards with blue shields. One protector with a red shield will add to the defense value of all state cards with red shields. Protectors stay in place until a player's next turn, when he must relieve them to his own discard pile before he can perform any actions. Keep an ally in court, counteract favors. After his actions, a player must perform a cleanup when he is forced to discard all unused allies in his hand to his own discard pile. As an action, a player can choose one ally to keep in front of him. This ally will be immune to the cleanup. This ally will also counteract favors, actively sabotaging any attempt to use a favor of the same value by any player while it's on the table. Even though the ally is visible on the table, it's considered in the player's hand and counts towards the forward card limit he draws at reinforcements before ending his turn. A player can only ask one favor per turn. He chooses an ally in his hand, and if another player's ally of the same number is visible to counteract the favor, the player must choose a different ally. The loyal ally card's favors are: Espião, spy. Ask him to slander, threaten, blackmail, or spread rumors. Effect: discard all 3 temporary allies from court, or discard all 3 connections from court, replacing with new ones. Diplomata, diplomat. Ask him to grant entry to the court and make your next move stronger. Delayed effect: when drawing reinforcements, instead of 4 allies, you draw 5. Mensageiro, messenger. Ask him to go to your network for immediate help. Effect: draw the first 3 allies of your influence network. Choose one to keep, discard the other 2. Lorde, lord. Use him to escape counteractions. Effect: a lord can mimic the favor of a spy, a diplomat, or a messenger, and it is immune to counteractions. Temporary ally favors. Comerciante, tradesman. Ask him to open his pockets to bribe allies from both families. Effect: gain 4 points of influence power of both Aquila and Leone, red and blue. Barão, baron. Ask him to intimidate any defenseless merchant state to support your claim. Effect: bring 1 unprotected merchant state card to your side of the table. This favor does not count as an intrigue. Marquesa, marquise, is a creature of the court and thrives in gossip and intrigue. Instantaneous effect: when this ally is recruited, a player can choose either to put it on the top of his influence network or place it as a wildcard protector. This does not count as a favor, but can be counteracted. Conselheiro, counselor. As the right hand of the late sovereign, ask him for his considerable power and influence. Effect: a player must draw 4 allies from his influence network and is granted 4 points of wildcard, influence, or intrigue. Bispo, bishop. Ask him to help you forge impossible alliances in the name of the church. Effect: for the duration of your turn, all your cards are considered to be wild cards. Duque, duke. As the most powerful noble in court, ask him to support your claim. Effect: this favor allows a player to gain 1 state card of his choosing by discarding allies from his hand to his own discard pile in this manner. 1 ally for a merchant state card. 2 allies for a clergy state card. 3 allies for a noble state card. The value of the discarded allies does not matter. This favor does not count as an intrigue and ignores protectors, hierarchy, and families. Connection cards are used to enhance a player's family card. Connection cards have 2 sides. The left side is a title, and the right side is a tie. Titles substitute 1 loyal ally favor, upgrading it with a better one. Every time a player asks for this specific favor, he'll use the upgraded version instead. In ascending order, the titles are Mestre Espião, Master Spy. Effect: a player can now discard any card in court he chooses up to 3 times, even waiting for replacements to be flipped open, be it a temporary ally card or a connection card. Embaixador, Ambassador. Effect: in addition to the original favor granted by the Diplomat, now a player is granted 1 point of wildcard influence or intrigue to spend during his turn. Emissário, Emissary. Effect: the player now draws the top 3 cards of his influence network, combines them with his hand, and then chooses 2 allies to discard in his own discard pile. This provides more flexibility. Ministro, Minister. Effect: in addition to the original favor granted by the Lord, the player now is granted 2 points of wildcard, influence, or intrigue to spend during his turn. When making connections, it's up to the player to decide which side of the card he'll use and connect it to his family card. The family ties are Agentes na plebe, Agents in low places. Effect: when this connection is active, it grants intrigue power to a player's family, meaning the wildcard point of influence power granted by his family card can also be used as intrigue instead. Reputação, Reputation. Effect: when this connection is active, the player is immune to counteractions. Laços no clero, Church ties. Effect: when this connection is active, a player's family card starts to grant 1 or 2 points of wildcard influence power. When a player makes connections to both sides of his family card, it's now worth 1 prestige point. I start the game with 4 loyal allies in my hand: a messenger, a lord, a spy, and a diplomat. I decided it's best for me to recruit the tradesman in the middle. I'm going to use my lord and my family to do so. I play the lord, mark my family, and now I have the exact 5 points of Leone influence power to recruit the tradesman. I take the tradesman and replace it with another card from the court deck. The lord and the tradesman go to my discard pile. I see there's no more recruiting for me to do, so I decided to ask the favor of my diplomat and have 1 more ally next turn. I choose to keep my spy for the next turn and counteract any other spies. I perform the cleanup now, discarding any unused allies, getting my family ready, the favor, and now I can draw reinforcements. I should begin the next turn with 5 allies because of my diplomat. Remember, the spy on my table is considered in my hand. Late in the game, I decided I'm gonna use all my allies to make an intrigue. Now I must equal or exceed the defense value on the card with intrigue power and match the color on the shield. With this intrigue, I have now the support of all clergy in the realm. I have 5 prestige points and I can claim victory. 2 prestige points for the Leone clergy state card, 2 prestige points for the Aquila clergy state card, and 1 prestige point for my family with 2 connections. And that's it, you're ready to play now. Thank you for watching and bye bye.